Clash of Clans, Ludo King, and PUBG. These are just some of the games that Indians have taken to over the last few years. With cheap data and more access to smartphones, mobile gaming in India has risen to the next level. And there is a whole economy growing around it. So today we ask, how big is this economy? What is driving this growth? And how can we support this industry? Let's dive in.
Mobile gaming in India is kind of a gateway. Due to the proliferation of mobile phones, due to the lower data rates.
Large consensus is that this will easily outpace the current media and entertainment industry. This is slated to outpace Bollywood, for example. Gaming is a universal language. In a country like India with our 3,000 odd languages and cultures and so on and so forth, this is a great unifier.
The gaming industry in India grew at a CAGR of 37% in 2018 and 38% in 2019. Compare it to social media, which grew at 11%. Mobile gaming makes up about 85% of the overall gaming industry today and is expected to become a $7 billion industry in the next 5 years. In fact, the government has announced a lot of measures to ensure this growth and an AVGC Center of Excellence to help create jobs within the sector. This expansion has brought in new kinds of players across the country as well as different kinds of games to cater to them.
Earlier it used to be primarily the 18 to 24, 18 to 30 kind of segment, but now I think there is a huge number of middle-aged people. There is some traction, for example, within females. So there is Rummy, which is probably more popular in the rural areas. This is also an older Indian game, while a game like poker, which is not an Indian game, is more of a urban concentrated game. So you have a few games like that, but then there are all-time favorites like a chess, where there is no differentiation between rural, urban. There's quiz, which surprisingly, while everybody quizzes, our data says that the non-mega cities tend to really outperform the mega cities when it comes to any quiz challenge.
3 types of games seem to rule the market in India. First, the battleground first-person shooter games. Second, casual or hyper-casual games. And third, real money games like poker or fantasy sports. So, what makes these games so popular? Let's start with the battleground shooter games.
On a very fundamental primal level, it's pretty high stakes. You don't land with any weapons. You have to find your weapons, make your way. The appeal is on a very primal level where you want to see if you can be the best out of 100. So it's got that whole competitive thing going for it. And I think that's also a part of the reason why it's quite popular in India. Because, from my experience, we're a country of very competitive people. Aside from that, it also helps that the genre has seen a huge push. You have a virtuous cycle that kind of kicks in where, because it's already popular, it's already got a certain critical user base, it makes sense for publishers to push it further.
During the pandemic, casual and hyper-casual games picked up steam as well.
Yes, there is a good audience for the casual space, and I think it has to do with the fact that, again, from a pure basic primal user desire or experience, you want a game where you can just kick back and enjoy with your friends. You're not in it to win or to compete or be the best. You're in it because you want to just kick back, chill with your friends. So that's why we see that both genres, be it the battle royale or casual, they appeal to different sets of gamers. And I think that's where the appeal lies, the mentality of the person.
The third type, real money games, have been mired in controversy. But they're also key to understanding the economics of this industry today.
There are games of skill-based games, and then there are chance-based games. World over, skill games are completely kosher and are not considered as part of gambling. Basically fantasy, rummy, poker, these are judicially recognized as skill games. What happens in India and most of South Asia, as well as most of the Android jurisdiction or developing jurisdictions, where again there is cheap smartphone, cheap internet. Now in these kind of places, the model in which any game has seen traction, right? Be it chess, be it Ludo, be it a poker, be it a fantasy, be it shooting, whatever. But any game sees traction here when you are able to hold large scale tournaments and you are building your games and your tournaments for scale. Whatever game we take, we host tournaments at very low registration fees. So often 1 rupees to 10 rupees, 5 rupees, etc. And we host these tournaments for 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 people at a time, right? So what happens is that when everybody puts in that 1 rupee and a cooperative pool is created, which can then be distributed back to the winners. Now, because so many people pay and I can get to charge a very small entry fee from each of them, I am able to make it worthwhile for and attract the really good players. That's the only model that so far has worked in India. There is literally no other model that has grown in India.
But real money games aren't the only way someone can make money from gaming. Enter streaming, an extremely lucrative and popular way someone can leverage their love for gaming.
The fact that mobile allows accessibility and allows people to, carve out a niche, carve out a career, do more than what they would usually do. It's really crucial from a pure industry standpoint.
These can become legitimate careers. We are all working towards ensuring that streaming and playing of esports can become legitimate careers.
On the upper side of things, I have anecdotally heard that on a monthly average, some of the very best go up to 10 or 12 lakhs in terms of earnings per month. And that's before I count stuff like brand deals, stuff like endorsements.
There are two types in which you can become a streamer. One is the vanilla, the traditional way of becoming a streamer, which is that you are a really good player at a certain game and people love to come watch you play. So you screen mirror or something and you become a streamer and you stream. The other way is that this is our take on it, which is that broadcasting is different from playing. To be a streamer, you are not required to be Virat Kohli. You are required to be Harsha Vogle. You are the person who adds the commentary to it and who makes it all interesting and who presents that content, right? So we want to unlock that.
So it seems like it's an opening. It's an emergent business. It's one where people are able to come in and craft their own niche and get paid for it.
The mobile gaming industry is riding a wave of optimism today. All predictions, numbers, and trends suggest that this wave is going to be a long-lasting one. With more money and support being pushed into its growth, what does the future hold?
Right now, we're in a situation where it's a lot more vibrant, probably the most vibrant it's ever been. But particularly on the streaming space, there's some really cool things going on. You have newer companies coming in, like Loco and Turnip, who are trying to, upend the old order, if you will, of YouTube. You have Amazon bringing in Mini TV that's doing some interesting things in that space as well. So I do believe that the streaming side of things is yet to hit its peak.
I think gaming is a reality. I think at the end of the day, just like any other skill, right? The ability to play games, just like any other sport, etc., the ability to play games deserves its own recognition, deserves its own livelihoods, and deserves to allow people who are good at it to basically earn both fame as well as earn livelihood money by playing games.